Okay, welcome to session 2, Pop Open Mic, and all you lovely participants. I'm Annette Tarpley, the founder of the Passion of Poetry, and so happy to have you all. And the first session that I had, the power went out and I got kicked out. And I'm the only one that could let me back in, so they had to proceed without me. But I'm sure they did well. And we had a lot more participants the first one. But welcome to you all. Very anxious to hear all your poetry. And as I was saying earlier before the recording, I'm going to be asking everyone a question at the beginning when I first introduce you. And then if you'd answer the question, introduce yourself, give us a little bio, and then go ahead and recite your first poem. That would be great. Timothy is playing the trump card today, Timothy Payton. He's going to do all his poems in one because he has to go to church and pray for me. So we're going to let him out. So as long as Timothy prays for me, and the thing is this, is guess who's number one on the list? It's Timothy Payton. So if you would go ahead and unmute yourself, dear Mr. Poetry, that would be lovely. And I'm
Hello.
going to give you your question. After I give you your question, introduce yourself and read your poetry. Let's see. Okay, this is your question. What's the best gift you've ever received?
Best gift I've ever received. Well, I'll have to say the best gift I've ever received was giving giving myself. I've been baptized underneath the water and was baptized in the name of Christ. It's just being anew. That's the greatest gift is being anew under the blood of Jesus Christ. You know, being a new creature, new creation. That's possibly and being saved right there. That's probably the best gift I've ever received. And I think you're
Sorry, if you
me.
would tell us about you, Timothy.
Yes.
And that,
Hello there, everyone. I'm Timothy Payton, and I want to say first and foremost to each and every one of you, happy, blessed Easter to you and your families everywhere, wherever we're watching and in the world. Again, my name is Timothy Payton. I have been, I started writing poetry when I was 15, so it's been, I think it'll be 31 years I've been a poet and a writer. I'm also the author of the poetry Scattered Collars. I'm also an admin for very lovely Annette Tarpley. And also, I am an admin for the very lovely Annette Tarpley's uh, Passion of Poetry, Pop. And also, have a poetry group called Reflection of Life and Poetry, Peyton's Place of Poetry, and Peyton's Paintings and Friends Poetry / Art Group. And I like to say I'm in the business of inspiring and motivating so many people around the world with my blessed gifts from the great Lord up above. And just really like to just spread so much positivity across the world and use my poetry to help the world, you know. So that's just a little quick rundown and what I do and everything. So what I wanted to do is to share with you all two very important poems. I feel the very first one is very special to share right here, and it is I feel very right to share as well, and it is entitled "For Jesus Loved." For Jesus loved us so much that he gave his life upon that hill on the cross of Calvary. He gave up his earthly rights. He was beaten, whipped, mocked, and spit upon. And without one bit of anger, he continued on. For Jesus loved us so much that he gave his life. So many have lied, cheated, and stolen, living wrong instead of right. Done so many things to loved ones, feeling broken inside. Yet he was not angry. He took it all in stride. For Jesus loved us so much that he gave his life. Some have killed and maimed, taken away so many of those living rights. For some are possessed and do not know what they do. Yet he is so forgiving that he allows those to see another way through. For Jesus loved us so much that he gave his life. He gives He's given us people the freedom to choose wrong or right. We may make mistakes and stumble along, yet his great mercy will carry us on. For Jesus loved so much that he gave his life. Whether we are lost and confused, he'll make it all right. When we open our hearts and let the light shine through, love, honor, and hope is what he gives to you. For Jesus loved. That'd be my
Beautiful, Timothy. Thank you.
thank you, thank you. For my second poem, this was actually I believe I'm saying it right, an acrostic poem for there was something a pop member had done. She does this annual contest, and it was Helen Sarita. And Helen Sarita had this acrostic poem for "Be Proud of Yourself," and I broke it down as such as the titlement was called. Well, the title was called "Finding Your Purpose," and I feel that when you are proud of yourself, you should be proud of yourself. But when you're proud of yourself, find yourself a purpose or live your purpose and be proud of your purpose. So that way you're doing something not only good for yourself, but you're being an inspiration to so many others from self. So I do pray that each and every one of you listens and it touches you. Finding your purpose. Be the change you want and wish to become. Evolve into something special and being a blessing to someone. Provide helpful advice for those that may be lost. Reaching out with encouragement is so valuable without a cost. Overcoming division with enlightened spiritual vibrations. Unifying something from within, coming from self relations. Defining your means for meaningful creations. Overwhelming situations may arise, causing strife. For those are the test of your strength and faith in this journey called life. Yearn for knowledge, for these are the keys to unlock life's mysteries. Offering solutions to the confusion and unblocking glorious victories. Using elements of thought, birthing seeds planted to grow, revealing something miraculous for the whole world to show. Seeing something that can instill hope is such an endearing treasure. Evolving into a life of character that can touch so many worthwhile in measure. Lifting the spirit, having a feeling of self worth, finding your purpose in your walk that has been engraved from your very birth. Finding your purpose. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all very much for your very wonderful comments this
Thank
evening.
you, Timothy. Thank you very much. Um, so what I think we'll do, because I don't know how much time we'll have, but if we get done with round one and you're still here, then maybe you can recite a third poem. Does that sound okay,
Thank you.
Timothy?
Thank you very much for your very wonderful comments. I see at the corner everyone's getting in. I just want to go ahead and say thank you all very much.
Thank you, Timothy. Wonderful as always.
Thank
Next
you.
up is the lovely, our Romanian, Bogdana.
Hi.
You want to go ahead and so
The question.
this is your question. Who's someone you really admire?
Whoa. I have a lot of people whom I admire, but most I have a Romanian director theater play. She's called Chris Simeon, and I admire her not only for her work, because I like very much to watch theater plays, but also because she had a tough experience with cancer and she wrote a lot of books about this experience. Um, and I read all her books and I was touched about her energy of moving on in spite of all her pain and her her disease, her desire to, see the value of life, because many people, when they got ill, the first thing they have in their head is being depressed, and sometimes they can move on. And she was, a real inspiration. Uh, Sometimes when I had little troubles in life, I was thinking about, oh my god, I'm so complaining about everything, and this woman, she just she's more powerful than me, and she has a lot of troubles, and she's ill, and she's still loving life. And I heard all her interviews. She wants to make now a big project. She wants to build a theater from, from the most little stone that you have. I mean, from the beginning, she wants to build a new theater, to have her own theater, her own shows there. It's something that not everybody dreams to do it, because many wants to make shows in a building which is already built, but she wants to do something else. And now she has all the money she needs to do this, to build it. And she's so, she's unstoppable. She never says no. She always thinks that she can do everything that she wants to. And the most important thing, she's not thinking, many interviewers ask her, but don't you think about death? Aren't you afraid? You have cancer. And she said, no, I'm just enjoying my day. If tomorrow I die, no problem. I just made my um I made my day. I made everything I could do for humanity, for people I love, for my public, for everybody. I made everything I can do, and when I go to God, I go without regrets. And I was like, oh my God. She's so,
Now we can understand why she's somebody that you admire.
and she's
Yeah,
yeah, she's an inspiration.
yeah. Just a little bio about you and start your recitation. Thanks for sharing that. That was wonderful.
And I got the chance to meet her. Yeah, face to face. It was my dream. A little bio. I don't know what to say about me because I don't like giving so much details. Like I don't know why I wrote in anthologies or things like that. I'm just a person who likes to write, to you know make people believe in their dreams and to move on. I try to make them maybe share my experience somehow and learn something from it and be brave and move on. I try to encourage adults to children to who are bullied and people reject them and they don't give them a chance. I'm also a new member of Annette's group. I'm also an admin. I hope I can make her proud. I'm also scared if I do the correct thing or not, but I hope I can. Um, I'm happy that she looked at me as a person, as sh- she can rely on. And I don't know what to tell you about me. I'm a joyful person. I'm a talkative person. I'm a sociable person. I like to, talk with people and share everything we can share as it is beautiful and we can learn something from it. And I don't know. I'm now I don't know what to say as it is Easter. I think I'm just trying to pray for people who maybe don't get the chance to see Easter as as we celebrate it. I mean, it's war and they are scared and they don't have nowhere to go. I hope that I mean, I hope this war will end one day and people could have a normal life. That's all.
Well,
Um,
it's it's certainly something I think we all wish for is peace.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
Are you
sorry.
okay to recite your first poem, or do you want
Yeah,
to take?
yeah, sorry. I was just
No,
emotional.
that's okay. That's okay.
Um,
We poets are emotional.
yeah, things like that touch me, and I'm, very sensitive about it. Um, my first poem is called Poetry Effect. Yeah, I thought how I could describe somehow poetry, how could I attach it, and here what it is. I feel the poetry effect. It is a bubbling gum. You have to chew it a lot until it bubbles. I feel the poetry effect. It is like a kite. You have to release it in the air so it can fly. I feel the poetry effect. It is like a painting. You have to mix the colors so you can make new shades. I feel the poetry effect. It is like a concert. You need all the instruments to produce a harmony. Thank you.
Thank you, Bogdana. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. You
Thank
have
you
such
too.
a wonderful heart. So next up on our list, we have Kathy Jo Blake-Bryant. Hi, Kathy Jo. Go ahead and unmute yourself, darling. Sometimes, Cat, I know from past open mics, sometimes she has a hard time unmuting herself. Are you getting there, Kathy Jo?
I think it's a new phone and she's
Okay.
not able to unmute.
So, Kathy, we're going to skip you for a second. You work on unmuting yourself. So we're going to go to Etka next. I think you're next. Yeah, nope. No, I'm sorry, wrong list. Had the wrong event. Yes, it is. Ekta, you are next,
Yeah.
and I will give you your question. Would you like your question?
Of course, Annette, but I think you can also unmute Kathy.
I can't. Let me see.
You can unmute all, and then again we can all mute ourselves.
I can. I can unmute all.
You can.
Mm.
Kathy, can you unmute yourself?
Let me see. Mute all. I can mute all.
Okay.
I can't unmute. Let me see if I can unmute her there. You can't unmute someone else, it says. So I can't
I
unmute her.
wrote her in the message to unmute, but I don't know if she sees the message.
I think she can hear us. She just can't
Yes,
unmute.
you
So
can
we're
hear.
gonna go to Edka next, and then we'll go back to Kathy and see if she's unmuted yet. So Edka, this is your question.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm
Uh,
unmuted now.
oh, you're unmuted. Okay, Kathy, you go
Yeah,
ahead next.
I think
So
I better
Kathy,
do all my poems at once.
You might need to.
I might
'Cause
need to.
I remember it's a challenge for some
Yeah,
reason.
and this is a new phone, so
Okay.
it's even more. Okay,
Okay.
so,
I'm
well,
gonna mute Edka, and I'm sorry, Edka. And Kathy, this is your question. Would you like
okay,
it?
yes.
Okay, this is a good one. If you could go back in time, what one thing would you tell your teenage self?
To get to writing poetry sooner than I did.
Okay. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Kathy Joe, and recite your poem. Thank you.
Yes, okay, so I've always been in love with words, and I grew up on the dictionary because I was always looking at what words meant, and I just love words. So, but I didn't really get to writing poetry until I joined the Facebook groups. I did some poetry on special occasions at different times, but it wasn't that much. But once I got into the poetry groups, it was like a new world. And with all the prompts and things that they would give you, it just opened myself up. And it was like a new day. And so I've only been writing like 2.5, 3 years in earnest, but I've really enjoyed it, and it means a lot to me now. The first poem is The Elegant Winding Staircase. I look for things that inspire me, that are beautiful to me, and this is one of my favorites. Oh, how I love to imagine an elegant winding staircase, such beauty and grace to behold, such loveliness delightful and bold. The carved balustrade well polished, gleaming of fine oaken wood, the railing so smooth and wandering, leaving me speechless, wondering. I feel like I'm flying in circles up to heaven's bright veils so serene. As I scale treads and risers of glory, the artisan's skill tells the story.
Thank you, Kathy Joe. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Are you wanting to read your second one in fear that you can't unmute yourself again?
I might better.
You might better.
Yeah. It's better than, I don't want to have that problem again. And so this next one.
And we know, Kathy Joe, that you are not one that has very few words. You are a woman of words.
I love words.
I know.
I thrive on them.
You go do your thing.
Okay. This one is called Skimming the Big One. I love water, but I don't get in the water. I'm kind of afraid of water, but I love to look at water, and I love to see others and their skills. And this one is called Skimming the Big One. Balancing perfectly on my board, the rush of the wave beside me fills me to the brim with ecstasy. I could shout from the joy inside me. Steady now, I ride this monster wave. I see fish swimming freely beneath me. Oh, the grand delight to conquer this thing, as I feel the cool blue underneath me. I follow the path gliding onto the beach. The exhilaration I feel doth possess me. I grab my board, droplet covered, I stand. Surfboarding, I'll admit, doth obsess me. Okay.
Kathy and Joe, that was great. Thank you.
Thank you. And I don't know if any of you have submitted poetry to Sweetie Cat Press with Steve Carr. I think some of you probably have. Well, for the one about body and movement, I wrote this one, which I thought might be a little different than some would submit. And I'm one to do a lot of research. So this one is about people who, in different countries, who carry things on their heads. And so I named it Using Your Head. We've often been told to use our heads well, to find all the answers we need. In many places of the world, folks use their heads so well indeed. Large baskets and jugs are balanced up high on accustomed and ready heads. The spine doth act just like a jack, using great care on how one treads. A load on the head and body parts strain, all working to help alignments. Back muscles grow with constant use as folks do daily assignments. A little bit unusual, but I think people that balance and carry things on their heads would understand it the most. Can I do one? Shall I do one more?
No, we'll wait and
Okay.
for the next round, and
all right.
Find a way to mute you. It might take 5 minutes.
I think I can mute now, at least for this minute.
Okay. If you can't, there you go. Okay, so next up, and welcome, Heera. So Heera, what for those of you joining us late, what we're doing is we're going around the first time and the first round, and usually we're just doing one poem, but we've had some people that have had some problems. Well, Timothy's going to church to pray to me, so he has for me, so he has to leave early. And Kathy Joe has a mute problem, so she recited more than one. But what we're doing is I'm calling in order that you sign on, and then what you'll do is I'm asking questions. I have one question I'll ask during round one to y'all. And then after you answer the question, go ahead and introduce yourself, do a little bio of yourself, and then recite your first poem. And then when we make another round, you'll recite your second poem, third poem. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, welcome. So everybody needs to mute themselves until you're called upon. So I'm going to now call upon our next poet, which is, now you're up, Etka. You already knew you were up next. So if you want to unmute yourself, the beautiful, lovely Etka. And your question is, I gotta find a good one. I don't like any of those. Okay, here we go. Who had the most influence on you growing up?
Okay. First of all, hello everyone. And I have been given very easy yet very difficult question. And thank you, Annette, for the lovely question. So when it comes to answer this, that who has influenced me a lot. So the first picture or the first image which comes to my mind is obviously of my father, because he's the one whom I means whom I see as an inspiration, as a friend. Uh, and if somebody asks me whom do I love the most, then he's the one whom I love the most, even more than my husband. so I can say that these are the things which have which are there because he showed me and he told me certain things which have helped me bring me make a confidence, a different level of confidence in me, because there were such a certain situations when nobody supported me, and those were very new for me. But he was the one who stood with me. If I was wrong, he told me that that is wrong, but he never scolded me, and he told that how that wrong could be made right. So whatever I am today, it is due to him. So he was the one who influenced me a lot. So now I'll tell something about myself. Uh, my name is Ekta, and I'm administrator of the Passion of Poetry. Um I have written two books named It's You and Cardinal Emotions. Both of these books are there on Amazon, and most of the poems which I have written are basically, related to nature and emotions, and portraying emotion in the form of words is my favorite genre. So, and this is a small introduction about me, and I'll now read my first poem. So, first of all, there are four lines which I would like to say about Easter, because today is a very it's a big day, and it's a day which is celebrated there. So Easter is here, love and peace everywhere, celebrating the spring, God's blessings showering. Let smile and delight embrace. Easter is here, Easter is here. My first poem is about women. So the poem is: Dear woman, you are gifted with a benignant heart. You are embellished with emotions like a unique art. You permeate the surrounding with the aura of your caress. When it comes to take a stand, you are no less. You spread happiness as a daughter. You are an angel of God as a mother. You are a professional, you are a homemaker, a better half, and a lover. An epitome of love, wearing confidence as her dress. Your deeds make you blessed soul, and the one who could bless. You embellish yourself as well as your surrounding. An epitome of inner beauty always comes up astonishing. You are gifted and blessed. You give birth to a new life. You always try to give your best as a mother, daughter, sister, and wife. Your love so altruistic. Your aura so compassionate. Your emotions so affectionate. You are a blissful soul, beautiful and delicate. Dear woman, you are gifted with a benignant heart. You are embellished with emotions like a unique art. Thank you, everyone.
Beautiful tribute to women. Thank you, Edka. Thank you, thank you. Beautiful. And next up, we have the beautiful, the lovely, the mysteriously disappearing. Oh, no, I'm just kidding, Gita Mohanty, who doesn't live too far from me, dear Gita. We need to meet someday. Just saying this publicly so I can maybe make it happen someday. But hi, Gita, you're up. Oh, your question. Oh, let me get your question.
I'd love to meet you. I'm waiting.
I know. We'll have to make it a live Facebook pop event if it ever happens. So let's see. Uh, that's a really good question. But I don't know if I'm going to ask you this question. This is a very unusual question. And I don't know how you're going to answer this. So if you could get away with a crime, what crime would you commit? That's a deep one.
Crime. That's a big question. I never have thought about it, and unknowingly I haven't yet, which is crime.
I knew that would be a hard one for you. Okay, so I'm going to answer that question, and then I'm going to give you a different one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what you do? Do you know what you do? Do you know what crime you would commit?
What?
One, I would rob a bank. That's what I would do if I could get away with it. That's what I would do, and then give it to the poor. I'd be like the Robin Hood type person. So I would rob a bank and then give a bunch of money to the poor. That sounds horrible. Our little secret, though, right? So let me try find another one. Okay, here you go. What is one family tradition you would like to carry on in the future?
Values. That's what I feel I'm blessed. What I received from my parents, and they received from their parents. It is from my parental thing, the native place. I know I'm the 17th generation. So that 17th generation, more than I think 300, 400 years old, that value, it I have seen in my parents and I have heard from them, they got from their parents. So whatever continuing, I would love to see it should flow, that legacy of values in generation wise. That is the most important thing, being human. We all are human being, but being human, that is the one thing I prioritize on having the values, and that I would like to continue.
Great answer. Now introduce us and let us become familiar with the lovely Gita and recite your poem. Thank you, Gita.
Hi, myself Gita. I'm from South Carolina, USA. Thank you so much, Annette, for having me in this session. And I'm one of the person who joined Annette's group and loving it. All positive people, lots of love, lots of poetry I'm seeing. It's a good experience. And thank you, Annette, for having me with you. I love you so much. Because the person you are always, I have seen so empowering and so positive in you. I felt that always. So thank you so much. And happy Easter to all of you. My throat is not relying with me now. So about me, nothing much. Very simple person I am. Just one among you. I love people. And blessed to have a lot of unconditional love from many of you. So that is the one thing I appreciate a lot, that getting love from people. And that's what I'm blessed about. And I'm so thankful about it, that I can get connected with people. I can get touched by people, and that is very vital thing for me. And that is one thing I love to do, the service for the needy who really need us. I love to extend my hand wholeheartedly. So that is another aspect I would love to share. Okay, so going about my recitations, usually I like to write the philosophical compositions, but for this recitation, I thought of taking a little bit different tone Hope you all would enjoy this. The title of my composition is It's Good Enough. It's good enough to fall in love. As much of vibes I have already gathered, it's good enough to rise in love. As much of elevating elevations I have attended, it's good enough to say you yes or no. Enough unreasonable reasons I have summed up to so. How does it matter what I say or not? Which way I say, or I don't say anything at all. Anyway, words never translate the heart accurately and exactly. Reluctance and timidness may reserve the emotions reluctantly. Words may hesitate to represent the mind honestly. Embraced sight may obstruct the flow of heart intentionally. I may not be able to present you genuinely. So, the only option left for you is make sure it's good enough intensity in your attachment to being detached, to hear my heart, read my eyes, feel my feelings, get drenched in my loving emotions, and meet my soul. Please don't rely on the verbal translations and communications at all. Thank you.
Thank you, Gita. That was lovely. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, my dear.
Beautiful always. And next up we have, please correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, Vaishali. You are next, and please
Yes.
feel free to correct my pronunciation. Very nice to have you. Very nice to see you.
Yes, thank you so much.
And so, would you pronounce your name for me?
My name is Vaishali.
Oh, so
We
I was
pronounce it as Vaishali. Yes.
I was close, right?
Yes, yes, definitely.
So, this is your question. This is kind of a tough one, actually. So, when and how you are going to die, would you want to know?
Not exactly. I, yeah. It would be better if I really do not, come to know about it, or maybe I really would like to keep it as of now, where I am actually oblivious to, this kind of event.
So, by a raise of hands, is there anybody? Raise your hand if you'd want to know. Is there anybody who would want to know? I wouldn't want to know. So,
I would not.
anybody?
Definitely.
No. Yeah. So that was let me give you a better question. That was bad. Here's a better question. Who in your life inspires you to be better?
Inspires me to be, sorry?
Who in your life inspires you to be better?
Better. Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, there are a lot of people who inspire me to be better. Maybe it is difficult to name one, but I do have a friend of mine. Uh, Her name is Mrs. Sangeeta Biswas. She has been a friend and a guide, like a person who actually inspires me all the time with her inspiring words, motivational words, with her actions, because the way she carries herself, the way she is always, up to the work. And of course, she works with me in my institute because I'm a teacher. So she is the coordinator also. And I look up to her for all the things, like, even for the personal and the professional guidance. Thank you.
Very good. Great answer. It sounds like she's an inspiring person. So
Yes, she is. There are many more, but yes, I could think of her. Maybe she inspires me more than others.
so now we want to know about you. So tell us a little bit about you, then recite your poem.
Yes, sure. Uh, Hello, everyone. Happy Easter to all. I am Vaishali from India, and I am a high school math teacher, currently working at Pawar Public School in Pune, India. And I am a mother, a wife, a daughter. My mother stays with me. And regarding writing poetry, I have been writing and some kind of internal motivation I had right from the high school. Right now, I have published, at this time, present time, recently, I can say that I have published around 4 children's books, and uh, I have been writing poems. This is after joining the Passion of Poetry group, Facebook group, that I got further motivated, and now I also published my book. So that is it about me. I'll continue with my poem. Is it okay? I guess.
Yes, please continue with your poem. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. The poem for today that I have selected, the first poem is about women. The title of the poem is Simple Woman. Um, I'll start with the poem. Behind the facade, behind the commotion, you can find me. I am a simple woman. From my birth to puberty and giving birth to my old age, I try to be flawless in all that I attempt to be. I fail at times, but still I strive to be perfect, trying to avoid exploitation, trying to please everybody. Behind the facade, behind the commotion, you can find me. I am a simple woman. The hype is about the movement, looking at women as independent and strong career persons who hog the limelight to a great degree. And here I am, sometimes unable to decide if I am working woman or a housewife, frayed between taking care of kids and going to work daily. Behind the facade, behind the commotion, you can find me. I'm a simple woman. I wish good for my people, and I cook, clean, and mop the floor. I also try to be presentable and try to conform to the society. I try to be a good homemaker while doing something for my own self, sometimes out of passion, sometimes to aid home with extra money. Behind the facade, behind the commotion, you can find me. I'm a simple woman. I may have my vulnerabilities, I may have my insecurities, and I may be not so good, for I may judge other women blatantly, and I may be mean to other women too. Yet I have friends, and we enjoy together. I travel and do things I love, and that makes me me. Behind the facade, behind the commotion, you can find me. I am a simple woman. Thank you.
Love that. That was beautiful. I like
Uh,
that repetitiveness. It gives it power. I do that a
Sorry
lot
if, yeah, thank you.
in poetry. And thank you very much. So next up we have, is it Zakia? Zakia? Parveen? Is it Parveen?
Hello, ma'am.
Now,
Can you hear me?
yes, darling, we can hear you. Thank you for joining us.
Okay.
Just clarify with me, because I didn't have you on my list. I just want to make sure that's your name. Is that your name?
Um, yes, my name is Fatima Zakia, and Sarah is my
Oh,
friend.
I'm sorry. You are Fatima Sarah.
Yes.
That okay. I gotcha. I knew that. I need to put that together because it comes up different. So I have you on here somewhere else. Let me find you. But anyway, that we added you at the last minute. Thank you, darling. Fatima. So did you go by Fatima?
Yeah,
Because you're coming up under Zakia or a different name.
yeah. Zakia is actually my document or name, and Fatima is my nickname. Sarah is my pen name, so it's Fatima Z Sarah.
Okay, okay, I got you now. I'm gonna try to keep that in my memory somewhere because I think I went through this the last time you joined us. It's so good to see you again. And if you would be so kind as to read some of your poetry after I give you your question, right?
Yeah,
So
sure.
let me give you the question first. Let me see if I can come up with something. Okay, this one's a pretty simple one. Um, hmm, okay. What would you rather give up? Your smartphone or your computer?
I guess computer, because phone is the I mean kind of accessory you can carry everywhere, and it's not possible sometimes that uh, computer you can carry. So I will I mean if I have to make a decision, then I would go with the phone.
Very good. Now tell us about you and then go ahead and read your lovely poetry. Thank you for joining us again.
Sure. Hello everyone, and first of all I would like to congratulate all of you and greet for the happy Easter. And my name is Fatima Zakia, and Sarah is my name, pen name, and I'm from Delhi, India. Um, I'm a writer actually. I write scripts for film and television, and I am a postgraduate of mass communication. My degree is my degree is in mass communication, and I have done my studies from Jamia Millia Islamia Central University. So right now, uh, first of all, I would like thank to you and for allowing me to be with you here. I mean, there was some issue, that's why I couldn't make it in session one. So thank you for giving me chance to be with the all the poets, outstanding poets over here. And now I'm gonna start with my first poem, and it's titled The Defeat. It was a peaceful evening in order. Sun was lost in golden edges of sky. Moon was peeking from the other corner. The flawless beauty seemed to defy. That's when there was a lethal explosion. Only screams, bonds, and tears were all around. And the peace of the evening was broken. The blood splatters covered the grass profound. The battle bell was sounded suddenly. Amid the noise of bullets and blasts that the sobs could not be heard actually. It ended on pile of corpses. In fact, can't say who won, but there was a defeat that humanity couldn't stand on its feet. Thank you, Edward.
Thank you very much. That was very lovely. Thank you for sharing that with us. Next up on the lineup we have uh Rana. If you want to please
Yes.
yeah, thank you, sir. And would you like to know what your question is?
Yeah.
Hmm. Um okay, here we go. This is an interesting one. If you could create a holiday, one holiday, what would you create?
1 hour in a
If
day.
you could create one holiday, you're creating a holiday.
Oh.
Today is Easter. Now you're going to come up with a holiday. What holiday are you going to create?
If I got now I have all the years I have holidays just because I am now a retired person, and I am all the days I spend in writing poem, lyrics, novels, and enjoying movies, etc. And when I was in works, that is in service, in at those days when I had got holidays, then I would like to go out with my families for small trips, etc. Now I have spent my holidays in my house, in writings and enjoying movies. Thank
Okay,
you.
so I don't know if you
Did I
understood. I don't know if you understood the question. So it means that you have to come up with your own holiday. You're going to create one. If you could create a holiday, like let's say tomorrow I want to create a holiday. I'm going to create Popcorn Day, for instance. Now, I only haven't even eaten popcorn in years, so I don't know why I said that. So if you could create a holiday, what holiday would you create?
Oh, if I want to create any holidays, then what
Yeah,
holidays I want?
you get to come up with your own holiday. What is it going to be?
If I want to create a holidays, I like to create holidays for reciting poems.
For what?
Poems holidays.
Poems?
Holidays.
A poem holiday? Poem holiday?
Yeah.
For that's
Creation
a good holiday.
poems, writing of poems, etc.
Where everybody has to write a poem. I don't think any of us are going to argue with that. So, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and then go ahead and recite your poem, dear sir?
Yeah, thank you. About myself, this is my second join in pop open mics. I am from Bangladesh. I have earlier said that I am a retired person. I worked as an additional secretary to the Bangladesh government, and I have started my service in 1986 and retired on 218 as additional secretary to the government. 33 years I have worked with Bangladesh government. Now I am in what I would like to say, holiday position. So I have no works now. I all the days I like to enjoy movies and writes poems, lyrics, etc. Till this year I have 96 publications, out of which 2 are in English and all 94 are in Bengali. The 2 English books are Lost Loves and the second is Twinkling Stars. I like to read books, write, etc. Now I start reciting my poems. The first poem is "An Framing Bomb Within Me." My mother is the most precious to me. Year long I am very much thirsty. Mercy is all time available from her. Ovation always flow to my mother. Teacher, the best in the universe. Healthy inspiration towards Mars. Each time if I fall, my mom pulls me up. Resource of my demand, even a pup. Yesterday, tomorrow, and today, my mother is all. Obviously, I feel enchanted when my mother calls. Unthinkable treasure of tranquility in warm small. Distance came when mom fell ill. Every time I used to lose my chill. Altimeter failed to assess my tense. Nectar also then was out of fence. Time is very much cruel. Heaven become a hell. Even it keep hand to bell. Wonder is blunt when Ma had a heart attack. Osprey of mom's illness squeezed my bulk. Racy nursing and medication gradually failed. Life has been seized in one day morning. Death never glorifies any pauper or king. Telepathy is not working to talk to my sweetheart. Obeisance never be reducing in any kind of art. Mother will never be faded from my mind, and framing mom within me, I don't look behind. My second poem is Every piece of the mirror will be the sea. Sitting on the shore on sea, I think of myself as big as the sea. The sides of the heart merge with the folds of the waves. The gentle breeze is softened. The gentle breeze is softer than the touch of a loved one. I stared at the sea and lost myself. In the leisure of the heart, the calculation goes on unknowingly. Gradually, the rainless clouds began to disappear. Then a shadow rose on the horizon of the sea. The attraction of those shadows keep me sitting on the beach. Antiquity. Time goes by like the waves of the sea, but there is no regret for the time. A cactus in the desert gives more tranquility, although it dies shortly after. But another is born in the whirl of the wave. This is how the game of birth and death continues. The problem is with the broken mirror in the heart. Each piece reflects the whole of the Trojan War. The broken mirror does not become intact even after thousands of attempts. I have thrown broken pieces of mirror many times, but I could never finish it. Sprinkles remain somewhere in the heart. From that, innumerable broken pieces of mirror are born. Sitting on the beach cannot bother those broken pieces. I repeatedly went to the sea to get this tranquility. I have said many times to the sea, "Oh sea, you make the pieces of the mirror in my heart the sea." I hope maybe one day each of the piece of the mirror in the heart will be an ocean. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing those with us. I appreciate it. Very nice indeed. Next up, we have Richard Temple. And actually, go ahead and unmute yourself if you would, sir.
I did. Hi.
Hi, Richard. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Scared of this
And
question.
it says that you're Magic Temple, though. So.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do magic, or is this a nickname?
It used to be a nickname, but I haven't got around to changing. I'm trying to be Richard Temple now, though, for the writing. So.
Okay. Well, very nice to meet your acquaintance. So, let's see. I am going to come up with a question for you. I'm struggling. Okay, this is it. If you could switch places with one of your friends for a day, who would it be?
Oh, probably Anthony Johnston. He's somebody I've known for years and years. I'm more or less out of touch with him now because he's in the US and I'm in the UK. And he's really quite a successful writer now. He wrote Atomic Blonde, for instance, which was made into a film. And I'd quite like to experience what it's like to be a successful writer for a day.
Is he in the US or the UK?
He's British, but he's currently spending a lot of time in the US because they're making films of his stuff, and he writes for comic books and that sort of thing as well.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Good answer. So tell us about you, Richard, and then recite some of your poetry. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Richard Temple. I'm in Wales in the UK. I'm pretty new at this. I've only really been writing for a couple of years. I spent most of my life in the music industry, and then later doing internet design. And then during the pandemic, really, I decided I wanted to go in a different direction. So I've sort of plunged into writing, and I kind of wish I'd started earlier because I've left it a bit late in life to get anywhere with it. But I've not done too bad. I've got a few things published in journals and stuff. I've got a poem in this. It's an anthology. It's called "They Want All Our Teeth to Be Theirs." The Blood and Roses Poetry Award Anthology 2021 from Culture Matters, and I've got one in Song of Peace, which is an Indian anthology, which is currently only available in India. So I'm actually waiting for someone to post me a copy of that over. And I've got something coming up in the US Journal of Expressive Writing as well. So it's making progress. Happy with that. Okay. The other thing is that I discovered 2 years ago. I was diagnosed as autistic at the age of 52 or 53, which kind of makes a lot of sense of a lot of my life. I've had a lot of psychological problems because I didn't know what was going on because of the neurodiversity. So
it must be Asperger's then, because you're high functioning.
I'm high functioning, yeah, and adult ADHD, adult ADD. So this is kind of my first poem. Is kind of my response to that, because it's quite a shock at my age to be to suddenly have that thrown at you. This is called Neuroverse. Middle-aged man, dispossessed, distressed. Diagnosis of neurosis superseded at best. Brain is divergent, its function insurgent. It's not a disease, just a different perspective, subjective, removed from the collective, not defective, not neurotypical, linguistically hypocritical, calling difference disorderly is clinically cynical. Pinnacle irony explains the anxiety. Neurovariety, me being me, defines impropriety outside of society. But this is just how you might view my reality. Empathy, sympathy, all is futility. We have different ways. When I don't meet your gaze or remember your face or your name, and I phrase my speech in a way that suggests a game or apportioning blame or in some way defaming your typical brain, I mean no offence. That's not my intent. As hell's road is paved with the best of intentions, by dissension from conventions, conversational pretensions, I'm eternally damned by misapprehension. I'm not neurodiverse. In fact, quite the reverse. It's perverse to inform normal might be adverse to reality. Chronically recurring banality, an idiosyncrasy that incomprehensibly posits reality as neurodemocracy. I'm the same as before, and I'm sure you'll afford me habitual courtesy, free from adversity, if I'm able to label by way of alleviant, allow me to reinvent, pose my own argument, disobedient yet radiant. I'll take neurodeviant. Thank you.
That was entertaining, actually.
Thank you.
That was, yeah. That was, I was amused and entertained at the same time.
Oh,
so that was very nice. Thank you, Richard, for sharing that with us. And loved it. Next up, we have one of my favorite people. She's my adopted daughter. She's probably embarrassed for me to say that. From India, Dr. Shamenaz. I call her my adopted daughter because I can't remember. We came up with that. She's about my daughter's age. And there's another reason. Was it your birthday or something? I don't know what it was. But I'm claiming her as my overseas daughter. Hi, Dr. Shamenaz. So good to have you here.
Hello, my dear.
Your question. Let me see. I should have been looking through these cards pretty good to get a good question for you. And now I don't know that I have one challenging enough. Oh, that's boring. I'm sorry. Here, let me. Oh, this one. If you could date Superman or Mr. Darcy, which one would you date? No, that's not the question. I'm just using it.
Obviously, you know the answer.
It's an inside joke between us. I did a poem once called "I'm in Love with Mr. Darcy," and it's a true story. If y'all know who Mr. Darcy is, It's a little comical thing. She's heard me recite that so many times she can't stand it anymore. I still love to recite it because it's got humor in it. What is okay here? I don't know. Well, okay. What's your most powerful and vivid memory?
Oh, that is something very challenging. Means memories are something that remind you of good and bad days. So the most powerful memory, maybe seeing my grandmother, means it is a sad memory also. Seeing your loved one going away is really very very tragic, and you cannot do, the thing is that you cannot do anything. So I was very close to my my paternal grandmother. I'm from Allahabad, India, and I was very fond of my grandmother. And during her last days, seeing her going away from you, it's very difficult. It was very difficult, and I think for many years I was not able to come out from that I don't have a grandmother. But after now, it has been so long, more than 15 years now, I remember all the good memories which I have with her. So I think this is something very, this memories with my grandmother are very powerful memories for me.
I understand that. And now tell us about you. You have quite the bio. So tell us about you and then recite one of your pieces.
Okay. And if we belong to the same organization, Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, you are heading the American Forum. And dear friends, Gita has also participated in one of our events, an American poetry reading. So I am founder and president of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society. It is a literary and cultural society. And since 2 years, we have done lots and lots of even beyond the boundaries, geographical boundaries. We have organized Spanish poetry reading, Italian, Turkish, and Marathi, and lots of regional language. We organize lots of native language poetry sessions. So I am Dr. Shamenaz, author, editor, and translator of 26 books. I am a teacher by profession and and writer by passion. So I love writing poems, short stories, and a very happy Easter to all. And India is also celebrating lots of festival. We had Navratri, we had Hanuman Jayanti, Ambedkar Jayanti, Mahavir Jayanti, and even Ramzan is going on. So I just want to give a message from our organization, Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, that world needs love, respect, and peace. As a human being belonging to a country which represent multicultural culturalism, uh, I on behalf of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, just want to give a message to all that let us live in peace, love, and harmony. Let us all the war around the world, whether it is Russia and Ukraine, ends, and people in my country and all over the world live in peace, love, and that is possible only when we respect each other. Respecting each other is a very big quality. Like Gita has just told us that she want to contain values of her life. In the same way, the values of humanity is to love each other, to respect each other. Only by these virtue we can maintain love, peace, and brotherhood around her. So I want to recite a very short poem about happiness. It is an old poem of mine. Just now when I was surfing net, I found this poem, so I thought I would, because I have recited all my new poems, but all my poems which I have written 5 or 6 years back, they are not known to the world. So although they are published, but now nobody reads so much. So the title of the poem is Happiness is Like a Butterfly. Happiness is like a butterfly, attracting everyone towards itself, trembling and falling from flower to flower. If you try to seize it, quickly it turns its gaze to other directions. The more you chase it, the more it eludes you. But when you divert your glance from it, then calmly and serenely it comes and sits beside you, spreading its beautiful wing and mesmerizing you. Thank you. So I have used a metaphor of butterfly like I tried to follow nature poet Wordsworth Coleridge Shelley Keats. That they have used a natural image as a metaphor in their poem. So when the world is going in war and so much chaos, let us turn our attention towards literature, especially poetry. By this, we can give a beautiful message around the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shamenaz. You made me proud, my daughter. You made me proud. So next up we have, hold on, I have my list here. Is Heera? It is your turn. So go ahead and mute yourself and let me give you your question. Oh goodness. Okay, this is a good one. What's something that you did as a child that your parents still retell the story about? Now, if your parents are no longer living, so what did you do as a child that your parents for many years would tell the story over and over again? Can you think of anything?
Yes, I can think of one incident. Um, when I was doing my 10th standard at Bishop Cotton Girls School in Bengaluru, I used to work very, very hard, and I used to come first in most of the subjects except Hindi, which Hindi, the second language, is a national language of India. But because I lived for most of my life in America, I wasn't very good in Indian languages. So I used to do very badly in Hindi, even though I used to take tuition. So that pained my parents a lot because they realized I was losing my report on the stage and my outstanding success because my first rank, because I used to do badly in Hindi. So this concerned them a lot. And so in my 10th standard, when I was sitting for my board exam, that is the ICSE examination, they got me to take tuition, Hindi tuition, from a very good tutor, and she really made me work very, very hard. And she taught in a very methodical and systematic way that really improved my grammar, my syntax, my literature, my Hindi poetry skills, and it made me much, much more proficient in the subject. And it was a surprise that when I sat for the ICSE examination that year, I came first in the school, and not only that, I got the Pope Medal for standing first in the girls' school and the boys' school. It's the Pope Medal is given for a prize who stands first in the boys and girls' school, and for so many years it hasn't been given to anyone in the girls' school. So that was the happiest day of my life, and my parents were very, very proud of me. And even when my father and mother were dying, that was the achievement they thought of before they died. They said, "Okay,
Oh,
you have made us proud." They said.
that's so sweet. So sweet. So tell about yourself. So do you live in India or the United States?
I'm living in Bengaluru, a beautiful town in India,
Then
South
tell us,
India.
go ahead and tell us a little bit about more about you and go ahead and recite your poetry. Thank you.
I live in Bengaluru, which is a beautiful garden city of India. I'm living with my sister and my brother-in-law after my parents expired. My sister and brother-in-law are responsible for much of my success as a poet because they do all the hard work, like the cooking and taking care of the house, and letting me spend most of my time in writing and reciting poetry. I'm a teacher basically by profession, and I've been teaching for several years. I've got many best teacher awards, including being selected as the best teacher coordinator from the Times of India group from over 2,000 schools in Bengaluru. I also write poetry. I write with a great amount of passion and I put my full heart and soul into my poetry. I'm also a member of several poetry groups on social media. I take part in their poetry writing competitions and I have won several prizes because in many poetry groups they give prizes not only to the first, second, third, but lots of excellency awards and certificates of merit. And so, in that way, I've garnered many certificates, which I have a good collection now, although they're all online certificates. And my poetry has been published in anthologies, both national and international. And I'm on the poetry review panel of Haven International, where I regularly review poems by poets and poetesses globally. But all these qualities, I think, would be futile if there was no kindness. In fact, how true are Maya Angelou's words? People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. So, kindness is a very important quality. I don't say I'm a kind person, but I try to be. I try my level best to be the best version of myself I can be. And I hope I can um, be a true daughter to my parents. They believed in me. I want them when they look.
Did she go away?
It looks
We'll
like she
give her a
dropped
moment to sign. Give her a moment to sign back on. Very interesting to listen to. So, I don't know what happened. So I think I'm the last one to do my thing. So I think what I'll do is just kind of keep going. And if you all don't know me, I'm Annette Tarpley, um, uh, founder of the Passion of Poetry, a poet for only a couple of years. Passion of Poetry, I started not quite 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years in the end of May. And I started it because somebody said something not so nice on a site. And I thought, I'll just start my own site where people will be nice to each other. And I started the Passion of Poetry. And it's gotten way bigger than I thought. I mean, if it would have still had 100 people, I would have been just fine. But I very much, in my poetry site, do not stand for anybody disrespecting anybody else. So they will get booted in a heartbeat. Because we all are here to support one another. But and our anthology will be coming out very shortly. I've ran into several different hurdles over the last year. And then we also have a poetry website that will be coming up, the Pop Star Poetry site, where we'll be publishing people. And that's a separate website away from the Passion of Poetry. But only been a writer for a little bit of time, but always known I had a writer in me all my life. And recently started writing some short stories as well. Just in December, I've written 3 and all have been published. And but I write prolifically. My real goal is to write a novel someday. It will be based on a poem that I've written called The Ballad of Ned, which I won't recite, but it is on YouTube under just Ned. I wrote one the other day. I'm going to read this because it's the one that's popped up here. It's called The Magical Wishing Well. You know what? I read that for the other one. I'm not going to read that one. So what I'm going to read instead is The Gifts of a Mother. The gifts of a mother are many, not few. Cradling you in cradling you in her arms when to this world you found new. Soothing your cry on that day you were born. She is a blossoming flower, on her stem no thorn. Learning to walk, she picked you up when you fell on the ground, soothing your soul with a glance without uttering a sound. She could rock you to sleep on a cold, dreary night. She would calm and give you peace when your mind was in fright, encouraging you to be the best that you could possibly be. In her eyes, you are perfection. You your potential she could see. She was there when you were downtrodden and you had no hope. She gave you lessons on life and how best to cope. She was always there to listen and lend you her ear. Her presence is always felt. She is forever near. The greatest gifts she taught you were compassion and love, to have hope in tomorrow and to find your strength in God above. So that is Gifts of a Mother. And I think that she's still gone. So some of us have recited more than one poem. So we'll go back and go over it. I think what I'm going to do is recite my last poem, and then I'll have somebody else end. But I'm trying to figure out, and then we'll go with the people that haven't recited before. But there's one called Walk With Me, God, that Bogdana did. And I work in nursing homes. And I do psychiatry right now. I'm board certified in family practice, but right now I'm doing psychiatry. And very often I find that people need this poem, and so I'll recite it to them. Bogdana did a great job. I don't probably do as well as she does, but I'm going to recite. It's not very long, and then we're going to start back. I think she signed on. We're going to get back to you, dear, in just a second. I'm sorry. So this is Walk With Me, God. Walk with me, God. Show me your ways. Point out the path I should choose when I begin to stray. Let me hear your voice whisper in my ear. Elated I am, knowing you are near. Walk with me, God, through. Release me from my burdens. Rid me from my strife. You are the rock I lean on, my fortress on earth. Always I've known I'm your child. You fill me with mirth. Walk with me, God. Cleanse me with the fallen rain. There is peace in loving you. In my faith there is no shame. Lead me beside still waters. Show me the grace of a swan, the innocence of a new life, the gift in a dawn. Walk with me, God. Be my conscience guide. Live within my heart. In my soul you reside. Give me the strength. Instill within me the power to handle life's adversities every minute, every hour. Just when I think I've had all I can take, show me the power of prayer and bowed supplication I partake. Engulfed with your love, together we will walk together, my God. So that is mine. And dear Heera, if you would recite your poem. I can't remember where we were when we left off. If you were.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yep. And a Tarpley, ma'am. Um, Actually, the reason why it went out is because my phone needs to be charged, and I would require at least 15 minutes for it to get back. So I will, at the end of it, if you still haven't finished the after 50, at the end of the program, I'll recite my poem, but it won't be included for the competition because
Okay.
if I don't charge it for at least 15 minutes, again, it'll stop.
Okay. Well, you go charge it, and we'll start where we left off. And Timothy is gone. He recited his two poems. So, Bogdana, dearest, you are up next.
Thanks, Annette. Um, I will recite a poem called Beyond the Mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall, are you listening my call? Am I true as how I look? Or you lie me as a crook? Are you telling me the truth? Do you, or your game is just so smooth? You see what I need to hear, so you can buy me, my dear. Mirror, mirror in the hall, maybe I should break the wall to see what's behind your face, to reveal your lucky ace. Now, I won't believe in you. It's my soul that holds the truth. Thanks.
Dear Bogdana, thank you, dear. So up next we have Kathy Jo Blakely. So this is probably going to go faster because we don't have a question. I'm not asking y'all. So Kathy Jo Blakely, look at you, unmuted yourself right away. I'm proud of you.
Yes, because all the little icons are at the bottom of the pictures. Okay. The morning mist. It's settling low upon the ground. A cooling mist can there be found. Bones of a tree that's long since gone are left where they fell as we carry on. The morning's new color clothes the sky. Purple flowers of beauty are far and nigh. A lone tree stands and surveys the scene as an aura of peace leaves an essence serene.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I got your book in the mail, by the way, yesterday or the day before. Your
Which
children,
one?
it's actually like 2 feet away from me. I should have got it and show it to you, but I haven't. So
you got two in just a short time.
I did. I love it.
It's a good thing.
I love that. Now the beautiful, delightful Ekta, you are up, my dear.
Okay. Thank you, Annette, once again. So, my next poem is And We Grow Old Together. Though I have written very less love poems, so this is one of the poems. And the poem is like this. I don't know why I love you so much. When the air is stormy, I just miss your caring touch. Your smile is blissful for me. Let dismay fade and sprinkle glee. Your support is like a shield. Let me win the emotional battles in the heart field. Your love and respect for me, that alluring look and aura so friendly. The beauty of bond shines like the first ray of sun. The beauty of bond shines like the first ray of sun. Growing old together is the best promise we have earned. Growing old together is the best promise we have earned. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. So, yeah, Kathy, I got this book and it's great. I wish I would have done the forward for it.
Yes, this is fantastic because the lady that painted the cover is my cousin.
Oh, is that the one I was going to buy the painting?
Yes, it is. Yes, she
can do that.
Yes,
Great
I'm
book.
going to
It's so
send her
colorful
one.
inside. Wow.
Yes, I want to send that to her.
That is great. I'm going to read that to my grandchildren.
Oh, I hope you do.
So next up we have the lovely Gita. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Yeah. Hi, dear all. Again with another poem. Hope it would touch you. The second composition title is Share. Dreams, he shared. Love, he shared. Happiness and sadnesses too, he shared. All the emotions, he shared. All the secrets too, he shared. His shoulder, he shared. Also his wider chest, he said. His strong arms, he said. His lap, he said. His bed, he said. Life and loving and living together, he said. His life's journey, too, he said. He asked what I said. And I said, I didn't share anything. I didn't share anything. As I didn't keep anything to me, there is no question of sharing. Whatever I had and was belonged to me, I gave you everything, including me. Thank you so much.
Love that, Gita. That was great. Love it.
Thank you so much, dear.
You already shared everything. Right? So next up we have Shayla. Shayla, you are next.
The poem I'm going to recite is named as The Little Paradise. It is from my book, Sunshine and Rainbows. If you can see it, I guess it's visible. Okay. It's a simple poem about nature and the imagery related to it. The gusty winds and frenzied drops plummeted on the roof with force. The graying skies and the gloomy weather pestered me to stay indoors. As the rain pounded relentlessly, I pulled in the curtains and had a cozy tea, then watched the news for some time and painted on canvas, feeling artsy. As the thunderclaps mellowed and shifted to a serene drizzle, I slowly pulled the curtains aside, only to reveal a breathtaking marvel. On the giant luminescent canvas of the seamless blue sky, a miraculously iridescent rainbow arched clear and high. From my apartment window, I could see wet roads and trees with reddish blossom. A cityscape created an art display complementing the spectrum. I stared awestruck at the beauty, my eyes twinkling with childlike mirth. Not that I hadn't seen it all before. Paradise on earth.
Thank you. Did you freeze?
Though it was fleeting,
Okay.
yes. Yes. I hope the previous paragraph was audible. Yes, one paragraph is remaining. Though it was fleeting and ephemeral, the rainbow touched the core, and who will not be happy with the vibrant crescent which brings cheer after a dreary downpour. Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
very much. All right. Next up, Fatima. Fatima, you are up next, dearest.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving me mic again. And I'm going to recite to a ghazal, which is in English. Ghazal is an Arabic poetry form derived in Urdu 100 years of ago in India. And I have experimented with this poetry form in English. And one thing I would like to mention that passion of the passion of poetry is the platform which turned me English poetess. It inspired me a lot to write in English poetry. Otherwise, I was into Urdu poetry, and I have won many titles in it. So I just tried to write a ghazal in English. I hope you will like it. So I'm starting. Throughout the night, they treat my barren eyes. The wise streams irrigate my barren eyes. It's your reflection which blossoms every day. It makes shine straight my barren eyes. The shore of lashes collects the pearls into mist that causes to abate my barren eyes. When my stern weight heavily touches the beauty, undoubtedly it makes utmost dedicate my barren eyes. Often fragmented emotions get dissolved like colors, and as unstoppable tears compel intimate my barren eyes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Very nice. I like that a lot. Thank you very much. Okay, next up we have Rana. If you want to go ahead and unmute yourself, sir.
Okay, my third poem. The title of the poem is I Still Dance Holding My Father's Finger. I have walked holding my father's finger all my childhood. I danced to get experience with my father, or dad also danced to reduce crying. Many times my father walked with my sick body. My dear father had a very sad dance. I danced while my father left his food and brought my favorite food. Dad must have danced in his mind, seeing my joy. A hope danced in the heart of the father about the future of the beloved son. I have always tried to dance in the expectation of my father. The dance of life is quite a pleasure to dance with the father. Although I have suffered a lot of times, I danced thinking about my future. I thought all my father's activities surrounding me. Father do works for the welfare of the family, and children are the root of all happiness in the family. One day I grew up in the shadow of my father. At the age of my father, I did not have the opportunity to dance with my elderly father. Suddenly, my father was lost in the distant sky in the world of many stars. I still remember my childhood dancing with my father's finger. Thank you.
Thank you. That was very heartfelt. That was a great poem. Thank you very much. And next we have oh no, we have Richard Temple. It is your turn, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. It's going to be a lot shorter, this one. This is called I'm Up Before Me. I'm up before me, always 10 steps ahead. The lumbering beast, blundering, stumbling, distracted and fumbling out of my depth as I impatiently, ungraciously watch my descent, lamenting, imagined unity. I constantly look down on me, dismiss my apologies, excuses for lethargy with disdain and finality. I find I have a mind to leave me behind. Thank you.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thank you. Now next, Shamenaz, you are up, my dearest.
Annette, is my turn. Okay, thank you so much once again. Thank you everyone for the lovely poem. You all have made my evening, not day, but it is evening in India. So thank you for your wonderful recitation. The second poem of mine is about love. Love is a remedy, not disease. Love is a remedy, not disease. Just believe in the meaning of love. Don't let your hopes fade away. If you don't get your beloved in life, don't be depressed and gloomy. Remember the platonic love of Meera. As love is beyond physical self, make it your inspiration and continue to live jovially. Your love will surely inspire you, even in the darkest phase of life. Remember, life doesn't end with any losses, but it goes on with all its misfortune. All the Indian are aware of Meera, but to other, I just wanted to tell you about Meera. Meera was a devotee of Lord Krishna, and she loved Lord Krishna as a lover, and her love is considered as platonic, aesthetic, because it is beyond the world. So, in India, Meera holds a very esteemed position when there is a discussion of love or devotion. Then Meera has got a very high place. So the world is not aware about all this love, but there are many example in India about who have given their life for the sake of love, and Meera is one such name. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I love that. That's great. So I think that, excuse me, I think that Heera has left us, I think. So I don't see her anymore. So I think maybe her phone died or something. So we can close the session, or if anybody else wants to stay for a moment and read anything else, they can. How many people want to stay? Let's do a consensus. The majority wins. How many people are done? Raise your hand. Okay. Kathy's done. You're done. Everybody's done. Okay, we can be done. So.
Done. I just started.
Oh, you just started? Are we done? So who raise your hand if you're going to recite another poem. Okay. Most of them? Okay. So we'll go around again. I think they went pretty quickly, and it shouldn't take long. You probably get done in about 15 minutes. So we're going to start again with Bogdana.
Hi again. This one is very short, so it's wrote. I was thinking about the Easter coming, so I just wrote a few lines. It's called I Don't Ask Questions. It's a little talk to God. I don't ask questions anymore. I know this time I found the shore. I'm only looking at the sky. My tears are gone. My face is dry. You gave my soul the resurrection. I felt your mercy. No rejection. Thank you, and have all a happy Easter and all the blessings you can receive from God.
Thank you. Thank you. Kathy, let's see. Kathy Jo, you're up next.
Annette, I think you're muted now.
I'm muted. I'm muted. Can you all not read my lips? So, Kathy Jo, you're next, darling. If you want to go ahead.
All right. Okay, this is a short one. Resplendent light. Stained glass windows, colors bright. Sun shining through with resplendent light. Throw shining rays upon our face and delicate patterns resembling lace.
Thank you, Kathy Jo.
Yeah.
So next we have Ekta.
Hi again, everyone. Annette, I think now actually I'm expecting some guests, so now they're there. So I'll just have to take a leave now. Maybe.
I'm sorry. So you broke up. So are you exiting? Are you exiting stage left? All right. Bye, Edka.
I have to take a leave.
Bye. Thank you for
Bye.
coming.
Bye, Annette. Thank you so much. Bye,
Always good to
everyone.
have you, darling. And next we have
Thank you.
Gita. Do you want to go ahead?
Yes, I'm always there. And this is my third composition reciting here today for all of you. I love you. That's the title of the poem. Let the love take the lead. Neither you nor would I proceed. You make the distance as much from love, exactly same I too would remain. You be in your sphere, and I too would be in mine, my dear. Please don't utter a thing. I too would say the silence between I and you. Let the love take the space promising. Let's prioritize only on love, not on you, not on me. Let's go beyond the realms of our personal sphere. Let the love take care, intersecting both the spheres. Let the love take the space between I and you, making it I love you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, dear.
Beautiful, beautiful. And
Thank
next we have Vashali.
Yes. Thank you, dear Annette. The next poem that I am going to recite is titled as Sometimes. Sometimes I get exhausted of this whole goodness pretense. For however I try from my side, no assurance I'll get goodness in return. Sometimes I get weary of virtues learned as a child. For in real world, these virtues do exist, but not so common to find. Sometimes I just breathe in my goodness and simplicity. It's my courage built over the years and not my incompetency. Sometimes I just carry on, pushing off the weariness and the grumble, trying to rekindle my belief in kindness and being good to good people. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. And Fatima, you're next, darling.
All right. So here is my third composition, and title of this poem is "The Speed of Mind." The speed of mind wonders me always, is faster than light, and when stuck, takes the whole life, rectifies all the emotions, questions to each feelings. The speed of mind never leaves me anything, never leaves anything behind. It carries everything all along, no matter it has to go how long. Often refreshed, sometimes gloom, it refrains, avoiding gloom. The speed of mind, always in form, whether impatient or calm, seeks tranquility, shows strength in trance, however, carries dilemma at some glance, is tough to decide where to go, still ready to touch the everlasting glow. The speed of minds paints beautiful imaginations always, so on closed ways find new ways. Midst countless dreams never sleeps, that's how discovers the meaning of peace. The speed of mind defines all the seen and unseen hindrance, holds the time feels each breathing fragrance, accelerates the speed of mind, accelerates the speed of speed, takes away from surroundings whenever you need. Overwhelming gesture adorned by thoughts, are rebellious in itself, representing intelligence. The speed of mind flows in space as light wind whisper in soully peace. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Thank you very much. I think we just had Dr. Shamenaz left. Let's see. I think next up, if you're ready to recite, is Rana. You're up next.
Thank you. Um, let me. The title of the poem is I Still Stay There. Who doesn't want to get loose somewhere? There is no end to the fun if one can go to the land of the stars. I have a wish to go to the land of stars every night. I want to be a star among millions of stars. I will travel to the stars of Orion first. I will write poems one by one while swimming in each star. How many times have I seen Orion from the world? Then I will go to the pole star. This is a strange star, the pole star. It is brighter than all the stars all the time. I think I will stay there for the rest of my life. I will not mind if any beauty wants to be my partner. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So we're going to have Richard go again, and then I'll share one last one, and we will conclude. So, Richard, if you would share your poetry, that'd be great.
Okay, great. Thank you. I'm gonna finish on this one then. This is a proper poem. You can tell it's a proper poem because it starts with the word "O." This is called Sausage. Oh, where is my sausage roll? I checked the fridge, but it's not there. I bought it yesterday from a food fair. Artisan baked, fresh and rustic, lovingly handcrafted by hipsters. Not meat, of course, nothing dyed. Suitable for vegans, no less. The baker assured me it was not real. Perhaps, then, that explains its current absence from my fridge. If not real, can we expect it to now reside in a kitchen appliance? Imagination clothed in pastry can easily slip through subtle dreams with third-dimensional saps called solids. Perhaps, in fact, I never bought it. Perhaps, cowed by spiritual shock of an unreal sausage, I recoiled, reassessed and let it slide to avoid existential egocide. Maybe it's me. Could I have fallen unaware over there through the spiderweb that defines us, divides us from the world beyond, where all along the fridge was righteously sausage-free? Oh, my housemate found it in Tupperware, so that's a relief. And furthermore, it turned out to be sage and onion rather than sausage, regardless of reality or otherwise. Thank you.
So your poetry is so amusing to me. And it's not just your cleverness that you come up with, but it's also your recitations. So you British are great at putting that emotion in there. So thanks again for amusing me once again. Dr. Shamenaz, you made
Yes,
another appearance. Did you want to say something?
yes. Actually, there was some problem with the internet. I thought to leave, but then I heard the poem of Vaishali sometime, and I remember one of my poem. Why do I feel weak sometimes? So I thought I should recite that poem. I was, and that, and then the internet went off. So I was fixing it, and I found my poem. So thank you, Vishali, for reminding me of my poem. And the title of the poem is Why Do I Feel Weak Sometimes? Why do I feel weak sometimes? Is it my emotional foolishness? Highly admire sensitivity, raw emotions, and insecurity? Is my strongness a mere illusion? As I do possess weakness, and sometimes my emotions leaps, seemingly nostalgic about past, melancholic at times, but the muffled voices of my heart instruct me strictly not to be swept away by emotions, but to act like a superwoman. Thank you.
Loved it.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
That was
And
wonderful.
sorry, I've not been able to type on everybody's comment because I'm have joined from mobile and I'm working from laptops. But I'm hearing all the poem and I like all the poem very much. And I feel that every poet is unique and great in itself, and to praise one poet or, on one poem is not enough for me, and I feel that every poet is unique and inspiring in itself. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, yeah, everybody was great. And I'll conclude in just a second. I'm going to read one more. This is Farewell, My Love. I do a lot of storytelling and a lot of fiction, so this is one of those. This is actually a YouTube video. He does the recitation much better than I. So, Farewell, My Love. Waves crashing onto the sand on a dark moonlit night. The moon and stars, her audience, captured her tear within their light. Languishing, she strode along, a ceramic vessel in her arms. She pulled his sweater around her, his masculine scent warding off harm. She smiled at glimpses of memories enough to last a lifetime. He told her that she had aged to perfection, comparing her to a fine wine. Was that his laughter she could hear in the damp, salty air? For a moment, she closed her eyes, his breath, the breeze in her hair. She stumbled across a large curved shell, picking it up and holding it to her ear. She could hear the sounds of this ocean they loved, they visited every year. Time had elapsed that cool, dark night. Now she had to do her mission. Out of the corner of her eye, she thought she saw him, a welcomed vision. She opened up the top of the vessel she held, the ashes contained within, releasing them now into the ocean, imagining he was looking down with a grin. The sky lit with brilliant colors, the sun now rose, shining so bright, bathed with the warmth of his love, unleashed by the dawning light. Farewell, my love. Ride the high tides, let it take you out to sea. There will always be a part of you that will forever reside within me. All right. Farewell, my love. Now, farewell, my loves. I don't know what happened to me. I just kind of went blurry for some reason. Okay, so farewell, my loves, and thank you all for joining. And I will get this later. Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So everybody, go ahead and unmute yourself and say goodbye. And thank you very much for joining. Enjoyed
We
it all.
thank you too.
You're all marvelous.
It was all wonderful.
So peace, love, happiness, harmony, and
Thank you for
until next
organizing
time.
such a wonderful event. Thank you for organizing such a wonderful event.
Thank you.
And thank you for participating. Love to you all.
Thank you, Annette.
And
Thank you so much. Love you all.
Hugs
So much
to you
have a
all.
great rest of your day. Bye, y'all.
You too.
Bye.
Have a nice Easter.
Bye.
Tarpley, thank you. Thank you very much.
How can I?